I'm Doina and I'm a bookaholic. You should say hi, Doina. What does a bookaholic even mean? You know, a bookaholic is a person who buys a lot of books, or a bookaholic is a person who reads lots of books. Because I am buying a lot of books, but I don't read as much as I should. Yeah. And today I am inviting you to my problem. Today we are going to do a book haul. I am in Warsaw now, in Poland, and of course I was sitting one day here and minding my own business, you know, working, and I thought what a good idea would be to check out what bookstores they have here in Poland. And I checked out. Yeah, I checked out. Very good. I bought, I think, 14 books. 14, man. If all my books will disappear, I hope this will not happen ever. But if all my books will disappear somehow, I will have books to read for several months here, because I'm not a fast reader, you know that. Let's delve into books, shall we? I bought Margaret Atwood's Testament. This is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, my favorite book of all time. I think I should reread that book again. Yeah, this will be a great opportunity to reread The Handmaid's Tale. We have here on the cover that this is the sequel to that book. I have wanted to read this book for a very long time, but The Handmaid's Tale destroyed me, like emotionally destroyed me. And I was so afraid to read this book because I didn't want to go through the same emotions again. Because The Handmaid's Tale, if you didn't know, it's a dystopian novel where women don't have any rights. They are just wives of the powerful men or their handmaids. The handmaids in that world is a woman who is designed to make a baby for the powerful houses of that world, and they don't have any rights. They just have to give children to the powerful houses, and they even don't have the right to have their own name. They are named after the name of those houses. It's a very hard to read book because you get all emotional because this could happen, you know, in real life, and this happened. And if you know what is happening now in the world, in Afghanistan, women don't have the right to speak on the streets. I want to cry now. Sorry. Yeah, it's Margaret Atwood was a visionary. She saw so many things that were happening when she wrote The Handmaid's Tale. People didn't believe that this could happen in our society. You know, we are a very progressive society. How could this happen? But she saw so many things. And for me, she's like the best author ever, and she's very, very underrated. I think not enough people read her books and not enough people talk about her books, because if all of us will read her books, or at least all of us will read The Handmaid's Tale, we will know what is the path that we should not take. Also, The Handmaid's Tale made me look at the Bible differently, because I was raised to believe that religion will do only good in this world, but her book made me realize that if the religion will go in the wrong hands, it could be a massive weapon of destruction, or it could do so much harm. And yeah, you should definitely check out The Handmaid's Tale, just to read it. I think you will be amazed how good that book is. Or check out the TV show. The TV show is amazing. I was head over heels with the TV show. It's not like the book, but somehow there are people who say that The Handmaid's Tale it's a little bit hard to read, but the TV show it's much more smoother. It goes much more smoother. But be prepared to be emotionally destroyed. And the Testament is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. This is a book about three women who also lived in Gilead. Gilead is the world where The Handmaid's Tale events are happening. Margaret Atwood wrote here, "Our time together is about to begin, my reader. Possibly you will view these pages of mine as a fragile treasure box, to be opened with the utmost care. Possibly you will tear them apart or burn them. That often happens with words." I have goosebumps. "You hold in your hands a dangerous weapon loaded with the secrets of three women from Gilead. They are risking their lives for you, for all of us. Before you enter their world, you might want to arm yourself with these thoughts. Knowledge is power, and history does not repeat itself, but it rhymes." I'm very happy that I have this book. By the way, all the books that I bought are from second-hand bookstore, because I don't have a lot of money, but I'm very happy that I finally have this book, and I think I will read it, and be prepared to see me cry. The 100-year-old man who climbed out of the window and disappeared. I hope it will be like Frederick Backman's A Man Called Off, one of my favorite books again, because it's about an old man sitting quietly in his room in an old people's home. Alan Carson is waiting for a party he doesn't want to be in. His 100th birthday party, to be precise. The mayor will be there, the press will be there, but as it turns out, Alan will not. Escaping in his slippers through his bedroom window into the flower bed, Alan makes his getaway. And so begins his picaresque and unlikely journey involving criminals, several murders, a suitcase full of cash, and incompetent police. As his escapades unfold, Alan Yerle's life is revealed, a life in which remarkably he played a key role behind the scenes in some of the momentous events of the 20th century. And also I have high hopes that it may be like the Thursday Murder Club book series, because I love the Thursday Murder Club. I've recommended that series to you in my video with 4 book recommendations, I think. And yeah, I have high hopes for this one. I have never read anything by Jonas Jonasson. I don't know if he has any other books. I hope this will be a book that will make me laugh, a book that will make me cry. So I hope that it will be a very emotional book, but in a positive way. I don't want to be destroyed like by the Testaments or by the Handmaid's Tale. I hope this will be a funny, easy read. So the 100-year-old man who climbed out of the window and disappeared. I know that I've said that I don't like to read books about war because I'm getting very emotional when I'm reading them, but I have wanted to read this book for a very long time. This is the Book Thief. Why I want to read this book? This is a book that is written from death perspective, and I loved what is written on the back of this book. So there is a small fact: you are going to die. This makes you not feel like a snowflake. 1939, Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier. Lisa, a 9-year-old girl, is living with a foster family on Himmel Street. Her parents have been taken away to a concentration camp. Lisa sells books. This is her story and the story of the inhabitants of her street when the bombs begin to fall. Again, I have goosebumps. Some important information. This novel is narrated by Dev. This is one of the reasons why I have wanted to read this novel for a very long time, because I have met Dev in Terry Pratchett's books. If you've read any of Terry Pratchett's books, you know he wrote Discworld series. So in all Terry Pratchett books, Discworld series, you will find the dead character. And I was very intrigued when I found out that this book is narrated by Dev. To be completely honest, I started to watch the movie, but something didn't vibe with me, or I was too sad to watch it, I don't remember, but I didn't finish it. So I remember that there is a girl who steals books, but I don't really remember anything else from that movie. I have watched it for, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, not for a long time. I think I will enjoy this book, but also I'm so scared that I will be sobbing. I will cry. Yeah, I'm laughing now, but yeah, I think this is a book that will make me cry, because I'm crying every time I read something about war. I don't know why I'm so emotional. Leave me a comment if you are emotional as well, because I feel bad. A lot of people are not crying because of books or because of movies, and I feel like I am the only one who does that, and like I'm this weak person who cries about everything. I love this about myself. Somehow the books that I read are going through me on a deeper level, and I feel them on a deeper level, and maybe this is good, but leave me a comment if you are like me, because I'm feeling sometimes alone in this. And another David Nichols novel. I'm collecting David Nichols books like Pokemon. Now it's David Nichols starter for 10. If you watched my previous videos, I've read by David Nichols Us in my romance books video. I was head over heels over that book. It was the best and the most realistic portrayal of love that I have ever encountered in books. And I'm so happy that I have read it, and I'm so sad that I didn't read it sooner, because it's very good. It's like the best romance book that I have read in a very long time, about adult relationship, not about the teenager, about adult relationships. We have a lot of representation of teenagers or adults, but like 20-year-old adults. There is like more 50-ish representation in that book, because the main character is in his 50s. And check out my video, I will leave the link in the description, and check out Us by David Nichols, because I think you will love it, especially if you are over 30. I don't want to put an age on books, but that book, you will enjoy the book much more if you are a little bit older. But if you are enjoying that kind of books, you can read it at 15. I read Jane Eyre, I think, when I was 12, and I loved that book, so it's your decision. But I bought Starter for 10. This is also a romance book. What does a woman really look for in a man? Advanced general knowledge, of course. I don't know if you watched Stranger Things, but if you've watched it, you know that in the last season there was a Kate Bush song that everyone was raving. This song was everywhere, at every radio station, like everywhere. And Kate Bush became again popular. And I read this sentence here. 1985, first year student and Kate Bush fan Brian falls for beautiful university challenge queen Alice Harbinson in a brilliant comedy of love, class growing up, and the all-important difference between knowledge and wisdom. Starter for 10 is the funniest book of the year, but for Brian Jackson, true love is no laughing matter. I think I bought this book because I've seen the Kate Bush reference, but also I want to read all his books, because I've read, at the moment I've read Us, I've read One Day, beautiful book, the best book I think, also about relationships. But you can watch the movie too, because it's a movie, and I think it's a TV show on Netflix even now. And You Are Here, it's also a very good book. I didn't like it as much as Us in One Day, but if you like hiking, or if you are interested to learn more about hiking, I recommend You Are Here, because you will love it. And now I have David Nichols Starter for 10. Ladies and gentlemen of this channel, we have here a Jane Austen novel. And not just one novel. We have here the Penguin complete novels of Jane Austen. I've never read Jane Austen in original, in English language. I've read it in Romanian and I've read it in Russian. I think I've only read Pride and Prejudice, and I've read this book one time in Romanian and one time in Russian. Yeah, I'm weird. But I've liked it very much in both languages. So I thought, why not buy the original? So why not read this book the third time in English? And I wanted to buy only Pride and Prejudice, but then I saw, I think, this book, and I was like, there is a book with all her works, so maybe not all, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 works. 7 books in one. I love this type of books. I don't know, how do you feel about this type of books, where there are all authors' works in one book? Like, for example, Shakespeare in one book, Joe Abercrombie, there are books with his trilogies in one. So there are other books like all in one. And how do you feel about these books? They are a bit on the heavier side. I don't have a lot of space shelf. And I'm gonna be pissed off when I'm going to go home, because I have so little space on my shelves. And I bought so many books. I think I need new shelves. So here we have Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Lady Susan. The font is very minuscule. But I hope I will enjoy this book and I will be a lady after reading this book or these books. Maybe I will do even a Jane Austen video where I will read Jane Austen novels for a week, 2 weeks, for a month maybe. Leave me a comment, should I do that? Because it seems like a good idea. Yeah, the Penguin complete novels of Jane Austen. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I love Patrick Ness. I have read by him one book, but I love him. I've read More Than This. I think I've made a short even with that book, and I was so in awe. I was so struck by how good Patrick Ness writes. He writes amazing things, and I think more booktubers should talk about him because he's amazing. And I bought another book by him. It's called A Monster Calls. First, I've seen the movie based on this book, and I was in love. That movie is amazing, but I forgot anything about that movie, except that it's a movie about a little boy and a tree who was like a monster. And yeah, I don't really remember movies, like books, obviously. Why do I read then if I forget everything? So, about Monster Calls, it's an extraordinary novel of love, loss, and hope. Connor has the same dream every night, ever since his mother first fell ill, ever since she started the treatments that don't quite seem to be working. But tonight is different. Tonight, when he wakes, there's a visitor at his window. It's ancient, elemental, a force of nature, and it wants the most dangerous thing of all from Connor. It wants the truth. I think I will love the book as much as I loved the movie, maybe more, because boy, I love the movie. The movie was exceptional. Go on and watch the movie, because I don't know about the book, but the movie is very good. And it's very underrated, I think. But we'll see the book. If I will like it, I will recommend it to you. Obviously, if I won't, you will know that, because I think you can see on my face if I like a book or not. The Dark Half by Stephen King. We have his photo here even. Why am I buying so many books by Stephen King and don't read them? This is a very good question. I read a lot of books by Stephen King, like, I don't know, 15 I think I've read. He has a lot more, like, this man writes a book every year. He has, I think, over 60 books, maybe more. But this man writes like no other, maybe not like no other authors, because I've read his biography, and he said that there are authors who wrote in their lifetime like over 500 books or more. That is like a lot for me. I don't know if I'm gonna read in my lifetime so many books, but there are authors who wrote so many books. Yeah, but I love Stephen King. I love his prose. I love how he writes. I love that he's such a good psychologist. You can see in his books that he knows so many things about the human nature. I think the only other authors who is similar to him is his son Joe Hill. In his books there also are a lot about the human nature. If you haven't read anything by Joe Hill, please go and read, because he has also amazing books. By Joe Hill I've read almost all of his published works. But by Stephen King I have a lot more work to do. There's a lot of work to be done here. About the dark half. Todd Beaumont is a writer. In the not too distant past, the literary press was full of critical acclaim for his work. Then he hit a period of difficulty with his writing, and he invented George Stark. At first, Stark was a bit of a fun, but an pseudonym complete with sinister autobiography, under which Todd could create violent and commercial thrillers. Does this ring a bell to you? If you've read any Stephen King's books, you know that he also wrote under the name of Richard Bachman. Yeah. Also, he wrote under the name of Richard Bachman more violent and commercial thrillers. So all the things that were very violent, let's say that for Stephen King, he wrote under that name, Richard Bachman. You should check, there are 5 or 7 books, I think, written under that name. And this book really reminded me of it's like Stephen King killing Richard Bachman, but in this case it's Todd Beaumont killing George Stark. Ulysses. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Ulysses by James Joyce. I think everyone has heard of this book. Maybe not, but even my husband, who doesn't read, like, he read I think 3 or 4 books in his life, have heard about Ulysses. Yeah. It's a very popular book, James Joyce's astonishing masterpiece that tells of the diverse events which befall Leopold Bloom and Stephen Downes in Dublin on 16 June 1904, during which Bloom's voluptuous wife Molly commits adultery. I know that this is a very hard book, and I know that everyone who has read that book says that it's a very hard book. It's a very long book also, like over 600 pages with no dialogues. I think there is a lot of text here. And I know that people read that book for years, like years. I have heard that it has a lot of mythology, it's very abstract, and you are in somebody's head. It's one of the hardest books out there, I've heard. Why did I buy it? You will ask. And this will be a very good question. I wanted to read this book for a very long time, and I had this idea to make a video with this book, and I thought, why not? Then I sat and tried to read the first page and I didn't understand a thing. Yeah, maybe my English isn't that good. Tell me, have you read Ulysses by James Joyce? Do I pronounce this right? Because I think I don't. And if you've read this book, please tell me, it's that hard as it seems? Did you enjoy it or not? Or maybe people are just saying that it's hard, but it's not that hard. And you know, maybe my English isn't that good. I will give it one more try, because I really want to read it. maybe with the dictionary, because there are a lot of words that I don't know. To be honest, now I'm very afraid to go into it. Another book by Stephen King, Bag of Bones. Oh, he has another photo here. Oh, he's so cute. So, Bag of Bones, Derry, Maine. Mike Noonan's wife dies unexpectedly. After this tragic loss, the best-selling writer suffers acute writer's block, unable even to face the blank screen of the word processor without being shaken by nausea and panic. Do you also think that Stephen King writes a lot about teachers and writers? Because he was a teacher, if you didn't know, and then he became a writer. He is using a lot of these themes in his books, like teaching and writing in his books. Leave me a comment if you also think so. Western Maine is now in the tyrannical grip of millionaire Max DeVore and his terrifying skeletal bookkeeper. DeVore is determined to obtain custody of 3-year-old Kira, his deceased son's child, and is twisting the community to his purpose. I have seen one time a meme about that all bad things happen in Maine. Because Stephen King writes a lot about Maine, his town. Another book by Stephen King that I think I will enjoy. It seems very wintry. I think I will read it in winter. So this is Bag of Bones by Stephen King. And another one by David Nichols. Oh, I'm showing it wrong. If you thought that I was making a joke when I told you about collecting his books like Pokemons, I was not. This is the Understudy by David Nichols. And I bought this book because of the star. The star is so cool. For Josh Harper, being in show business means money, fame, a beautiful wife, and a lead role on the London stage. For Stephen King McQueen, it means a disastrous career playing passers-by and dead people. Stephen stuck with an unfortunate name, a hopeless agent, a daughter he barely knows, and the job as understudy to Josh Harper, the 12th sexiest man in the world. And when Stephen falls in love with Josh's clever, funny wife Nora, things get even more difficult. But might there yet be a way for Stephen to get his big break? So, seems like a fun read. This book reminded me a bit of One Day, if you read One Day. There is this character Dexter, this main character Dexter, and he was also in Showbiz. And this a bit reminded me of him. Yeah, I think I will like this book very much, and the author is so young here on the photo. I'm gonna try to show you. This is David Nichols when he was young. Yeah, and this is the Understudy by David Nichols. And another book by Margaret Atwood. If I love an author, I love an author. You can guess from this video, I think, what authors I love the most. Because I'm reading a lot of their books and I bought a lot of their books. I don't have all their books, but I'm trying to read more of the books that they published or they are publishing. So Margaret Atwood, The Edible Woman. Like this cover. I think this is her first book or her first published book, because she said that she wrote another book, but it didn't get published, and this one did. So this is the first published book. This is the first published novel, to be more precise, because I think she published some poems, maybe even a book of poetry before this one. Marian is a determinedly ordinary girl, fresh out of university, working at her first job, but really only wanted to get married. Yeah, to say that in our days, everyone will throw tomatoes at you. In this perspective with the novel, the brilliant author of Surfacing and Lady Oracle takes a long, cool look at the girls who want to opt in and hilariously point out how often that way madness lies. So I have read about this book that it's a book about feminism before feminism even existed. So, or even was like popular, like trend. And I think I will enjoy it, maybe, maybe not. I don't like all her books. I've read books that I loved, but I've read books that were not much enjoyed by me. But this will not stop me to read more books by her, because she wrote *Handmaid's Tale*, and that book changed my life. And I think I could find another book that will change my life too. I think I've heard about this book, but I have never seen it in a library before. And this is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. He also wrote Tuesdays with Morrie. I haven't read that one. Just hear what this book is about. On his 83rd birthday, 80, a lonely war veteran dies in a tragic accident trying to save a little girl from a falling cart. With his final breath, he feels 2 small hands in his, and then nothing. This is so sweet. He awakens in the afterlife, where he learns that heaven is not a lush garden of Eden, but a place where your earthly life is explained to you by 5 people who were in it. These people may have been loved ones or distant strangers, yet each of them changed your path forever. So, after I read that, I was very intrigued and I bought this book right away, because if this isn't an amazing synopsis, I don't know what it is. I was very intrigued, and I am very intrigued, and I think it will be a very good book, and it's a very short book also. It has, I think, 225 pages, 230 pages. So have you read this book? Have you heard about this book? Because I don't think that I've seen this book on YouTube or in other places, but I've heard about this book. I don't remember where or who talked about this book. I've definitely heard about this book, maybe in a movie. I don't recall, but I'm really excited to read this one. We are down to last 2 books, folks. And I have here 4 Past Midnight, also by Stephen King. It's autumn. Here we have 4 short stories. Past midnight, something happens to time, that fragile concept we employ to order our sense of reality. It bends, stretches, turns back, or snaps, and sometimes reality snaps with it. One past midnight, the Langoliers takes a red-eye flight from LA to Boston into a most unfriendly sky. Only 10 passengers survive, but landing in an eerily empty world makes them wish they hadn't. Something's waiting for them, you see. 2 past midnight. Secret window, secret garden, enters the suddenly strange life of writer Mort Rainey, recently divorced, depressed, and alone on the shore of Tashmore Lake. Alone, that is, until a figure named John Shooter arrives, pointing an accusing finger. 3 past midnight. The library policeman is set in Junction City, Iowa, an unlikely place for evil to be hiding. But for small businessman Sam Peebles, who thinks he might be losing his mind, another enemy is hiding there as well, the truth. If he can find it in time, he might stand a chance. 4 past midnight. The flat surface of a Polaroid photograph becomes for 15-year-old Kevin Delavan an invitation to the supernatural. I love Stephen King's novellas, sometimes even more than his books. He wrote 1922, very good novella. He wrote Shawshank Redemption. He wrote The Body. It's like a short story. It's 20 pages long, but it's very good. I think it's 20 pages long, maybe it's longer. He wrote Mr. Harrigan's Phone. I think there is even a movie or a TV show. You should check that out. It's also very good. And I'm very happy to read these 4, not new, but I haven't read these novellas before, and I'm very happy to finally get to read them. So this is 4 past midnight by Stephen King. And the last but not the least, The Secret Diary of Henrik Groen, 83 and 1/4 years old. Met Henrik Groen, an octogenarian in a care home who has no intention of doing what he's told, or dying quietly. To that end, he creates the Old But Not Dead Club, and with his fellow members sets about living his final years with careless abandon. Such anarchy infuriates the care home director, but please Elfie, the woman who makes Henrik's frail heart palpitate. If it's never too late to have fun, then can it ever be too late to meet the love of your life? So I really hope that this will be a mix also of A Man Calls Ove. I think I've said that several times before, but I love A Man Calls Ove. Please read this book, please. I'm begging you, it's a very good book. And The Jersey Murder Club, also please read this series, you will love it. I don't know people who don't love The Jersey Murder Club or A Man Called Ove. So I hope this will be like a mix of A Man Called Ove and The Jersey Murder Club, and I'm very excited to read this one. So yeah, my darlings, this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. We have here a lot of books, as you can see. I hope I will read them sooner or later, because I have a lot of books to read. To be honest, I have another Paris book haul, because I was in Paris and I bought a lot of books there too. I will try to put a video together with those books too. I don't have a lot of time now, but I will try to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and if you are here in the end of this video, please put a heart in the comments. I wanted to see if someone watches me till the end. And yeah, thank you, and see you next time. Bye.